Arthur, first of all, thanks for letting us come in to SHOCO.
Thank you very much for coming, guys. This is amazing to have you.
Let's learn a little bit about SHOCO. And you know, when Rick Bayless kind of birthed this concept several years ago to make a footprint in fast casual from a chef-inspired menu,
Absolutely.
and bringing it into kind of a more approachable class of, we won't even call it fresh mix because it's something different. How do you explain the menu behind SHOCO?
Just keeping it simple, I would describe it as Mexican street food using like really seasonal Midwest ingredients.
Okay.
So it's very different from the cuisine that you'd actually find in Mexico because of our partnership with local farmers, with our program of growing tomatoes on the roof of this building and this beautiful production garden behind Rick and Deanne's house. We're growing a lot of things that also grow in Mexico, but some of these things are real signature products of the Midwest.
Right.
So that really certainly changes the cuisine that we're serving.
Yeah, absolutely. So really tying in new ingredients into this category is something that a lot of operators are trying to do. Now you tie in a few other aspects of the concept, and that is through art throughout the whole restaurant. You really kind of blend that with the kind of the nature of what the Mexican cuisine is kind of connected to it. What came up with that idea?
A friend of Rick and Deanne's, Bill Blair, who's out of British Columbia, his mother was very skilled in the art of colorizing photographs before the use of Photoshop.
Okay.
So using oil paints to saturate like a black and white image. Rick and Deanne really fell in love with that style. And so when they were planning SHOCO in the years 2007 and 2008, running up to the opening in 2009, they commissioned Bill to create 7 pieces of art that would describe the restaurant experience. So I've been really impressed, you know, being here for 3 years now, that and SHOCO being open 4.5 years, that we continue to embody those pieces of art in our experience as a restaurant.
So a lot of great planning that goes behind that. You know, when you look at art as being a part of the concept, really kind of blending in those very intricate kind of approaches toward it itself that kind of goes over into the menu items themselves. What are some of the things we're going to be looking at today?
We're going to start combining one of our classic appetizers, which is guacamole, with an agua fresca. What we're known for here is our wood-burning oven. Okay. That's kind of the heart of the restaurant. And we use that both to make tortas, which are like Mexican submarine sandwiches, and caldos, which are very hearty soups. So those will be the 2 savory entrees we'll be looking at. And then what's really cool for me, because I'm a big sweet tooth, is that we're one of the only restaurants in the country to make our own chocolate. And with that chocolate, which we serve for drinking, we create these beautiful churros.
Wow. So we cannot waste any more time, because now we're really starting to get where the rubber hits the road, and that is to the menu itself. So let's go check out some of the food.
That sounds great. Let's do it.
Wow, Arthur, so now we're starting to see a little bit more of what you guys are all about here, and that's the menu.
Absolutely.
What a great touch that was. Arthur, let's kind of break down a little bit about, you know, kind of continue the conversation on SHOCO and
Absolutely.
how you guys got this space moving.
Well, originally,
what was this?
what you see here was a art gallery back in the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
You know, was the space adjacent to Frontera Grill and Topolobampo.
All right.
And the Baylesses wanted to create a fast casual restaurant here, and decided that because of the very long narrow nature of the space, that it would be best to have the kitchen actually on the same floor as the dining room, and use that space so that folks that were waiting for a seat could actually watch the cooking happen and see like the stoves, and almost as if you were in a street market in Mexico, seeing some of that magic happen and bringing a little bit of theater to the dining experience.
Yeah, and it seems to kind of connect that family approach that you guys are bringing to the concept, especially it's like watching your mom and your grandma cook in the back.
It's a unique thing. It's a really special thing to have you know, a family-run restaurant in the heart of like a major U.S. city like this. So it's been a really neat place to work.
Let's go off with your signature torta here. What are we looking at?
So this is SHOCO's signature dish, and what this is actually the signature sandwich of Guadalajara in the Mexican state of Jalisco. So what the French dip is to Los Angeles, or the beef on weck would be to Buffalo,
Okay.
New York. That's kind of what this is to Guadalajara. And what you have is, a lot of design choices implemented just for this one sandwich. So everything from the recipe that we've crafted for this bread to the way that we cook the carnitas, so that we're doing like a slow and low cooking for like 3 to 4 hours,
Looks
and then
amazing.
finishing them in the wood burning oven so those edges get all caramelized and golden. A little bit of change in texture.
Let's talk about the soup.
We call these caldos. A lot of folks that we're serving, they don't know what a caldo is, and
Right.
because the subtext is meal in a bowl,
Yeah.
they expect it to come over rice.
Oh, interesting.
Like Chipotle style. So what we do is we create a stock overnight, and we'll cook that down for a good 6 to 8 hours to create the stock for this. And then this is our carnitas caldo, so you have some of that delicious golden
Right.
pork.
Yeah.
We've made little gluten-free dumplings out of corn masa, which are called chochoyotes.
Okay.
So that's the starch of the dish, kind of the meat and potatoes there. And then what makes it so beautifully green is serrano, roasted serrano chile
Oh, that's
puree.
gonna be hot.
And that's cooked down and kind of blended into that stock, almost like a faux. And there's the arugula to give it a little pepperiness, and there's also chayote in this, which is a vegetable similar to zucchini that's indigenous to Mexico. So it really is a complete, well-rounded meal.
Love it. Love it. Of course, you wouldn't top off a Mexican meal without some great guacamole and chips. So, but you guys do some things a little differently with your guac.
The guacamole is really cool because the roof of our building is insulated with reflecting black surface, and on top of that, we grow tomatoes in the warmer months of the
Oh,
season.
okay.
And so that's something that we feature here in the guacamole. We also grow chili on our roof and some herbs, and those will all make appearances in the guacamole.
Beautiful.
Right now, we're serving sun-dried tomatoes, which we've created in-house here, and the seasonal ingredient is fennel, which is that beautiful kind of herbaceous, almost celery-like,
Yep.
licorice-tasting vegetable.
A lot of ways to serve fennel too. You know, Mexico has kind of this love affair with a sweet tooth.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's the churros or the drinking chocolate, your agua fresca, this is a pretty amazing array of desserts, or we'll call it the decadent side of the Mexican, menu. What are we looking at? The churros. You've got
I
a
tell you
lot
what,
of variations.
those
though.
churros we do have a lot of variations, but those are the best. Those are the classics.
Yeah.
Our churros are patterned off of Churreria del Moro, which is in Mexico City in the DF, and are just flour, water, salt, and sugar. And coming out of that star pattern, we use really nice rice bran oil, which it certainly imparts a lot of nice flavor there. And then they're just rolled in raw sugar and cocoa,
Yeah.
which has a
Yum.
touch of cinnamon to it as
Yeah.
well.
Arthur, this has been amazing. We have really enjoyed our trip through Mexico here at XOCO today. Thanks for letting us stop in on this episode of Fast Casual Nation.
Thank you so much for coming. I tell you
lot
what,
of
those
variations,
churros
though.
we do have a lot of variations, but those are the best. Those are the classics.
Yeah.
We went to Mexico City in the planning stages of of XOCO.